Good morning. How's everybody?
Hi.
It's a little quiet still. It's like Monday morning class. So, Brendan, great to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, there's so many questions I can ask you, but why are you based in the Netherlands? How did you get to this beautiful country? As you're from Ireland, right?
Yeah, well, I used to travel a lot doing press for PUBG. And when I was looking for somewhere based in Europe, Schiphol gets me everywhere really quickly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I didn't have to learn another language because you all kindly speak English most of the time. So,
Right, right. Some of us speak English fairly well.
Yeah.
Because when I was preparing, I was like, so where's Brendan from? Why doesn't he start over there? Ballyshannon?
Ballyshannon.
Ballyshannon? That's the place you were born, right?
Yes, not north of Ireland, south of Ireland, but in the north of Ireland.
You could have started a studio there. They would have been proud of a studio in...
But that's Ireland.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, get it for that. Okay, so we're going to get started. So you have a game coming out in the end of summer, Prologue.
Yep.
But Prologue is part of a bigger plan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the first step, I guess, right? Like when I started this, 5 years ago now, I wanted to make just a big survival game, something 100 by 100 kilometers where trade routes and mountain ranges and this kind of stuff make sense. And then I figured out if we used a kind of traditional way of making games, we'd end up needing like 1,000 devs and years to make a map that size.
Yep.
So we first started figuring out, how do we reach this kind of scale? And we figured out, right, we need to generate the terrain first in real time rather than build it. And then we kind of broke as the tech kind of, or the tech was proven a little, or our ideas were concepted out and proven a little, my idea kind of expanded a little. And I thought, well, then we can just generate planets, right, with the tech, because we could do it. And then this is where I kind of got into thinking, well, if I can build an engine to just build digital places rather than anything else. And this is the first step, which is testing that terrain layer.
You mentioned the word planets. That makes me think of the Hello Games crew building, what was the game with all the planets? You know.
Light No Fire.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
very much.
Sky,
Some people are awake. So, well, let's take a quick look at a small playthrough I found online.
Is this my speed run? Okay.
Is it yours?
Yeah.
Seriously? Is this you?
I did this over a weekend. It was the first time I got to... Yeah, this is me.
This is you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I just went on YouTube.
I lost my compass. I lost my flashlight at night.
Yeah.
And still found my way to the weather tower.
Okay.
I did use a soda can bug where it gave you infinite... you could just keep drinking it.
Yeah.
So there's a point where...
There's an issue with the drinking part, but we'll get to that in a minute. Can we turn it down a little bit so I can just keep talking while this is running in the background? So basically, you start in a log cabin.
Yes.
You got some basic items. Then you go outside. You have a mission. You have to get to the weather tower.
Yeah, if you want.
Right. But every time you die, you spawn in the same cabin, pretty much. But the world outside is different.
Yeah, we have a seed-based generation system using ML and Unreal's PGC system.
And what is ML?
Machine learning.
Okay.
So we use machine learning at engineering level to generate a base map, trained off natural art data. And then on top of that, we have a guided generation system that helps our artists inform what the world looks like. So we can put in a river schematic or where we want mountains or gameplay features, and then it builds worlds on that. And up in the top corner, you can see the seed number, and we can do, I think, 2.6 billion seeds. And
so if you do the same seed number twice, then you'll get the exact same.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, fair.
And that hopefully then will...
It's kind of like Minecraft survival, right?
Exactly.
All right. Okay.
But hopefully we'll be able to use that to allow people to share seeds, which they're already doing. There's people in our Discord that are already deciding when does a speed run start.
Right.
Like, get from the start to the end. Is it when I start moving? So this kind of asynchronous multiplayer is sort of a next step, right? But first we got to get a stable game.
So you're going to look at some screenshots of me dying. So I played 72 hours in this game, or around 70, and I never made it to the weather tower, Brendan.
This makes me very happy.
But here's the thing, it's a play test.
Yes.
So was it a balancing problem or is it just me?
No, just you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, awesome. Look at me, it's beautiful by the way. It's kind of like Ansel Adams meets game development. But let's see here, this is me just trying to get to that darn weather tower.
Once you get a blizzard, and if you don't have the right
food.
gear.
Yeah. That's right. There's only 3 factors that determine whether you live.
Yep.
Temperature.
You got temperature,
food,
thirst, and yeah.
Yeah, food and water,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So this is me looking. Oh, this is pretty cool. So the map every time. Oh, wait. This is somehow the way that Keynote deals with my screenshots. So let me just go through this quickly. So this is what a beautiful. It was nice, even though I kept dying. It was pretty cool.
No, and like the nice thing about this is there's no time limit. There's no
Right.
like you can get to the weather tower, but there's no real need to.
There's
it's
a
just
little-
an 8x8 map, right?
Yeah.
That you can go explore if you want to.
Is this a bug or a feature?
Excuse me. What is that?
What's me holding the binoculars?
Then that. Oh no, that's yes. That's
Yeah.
a problem with meshes.
Oh, okay.
We found it really hard to track down and find a repo for the bug
All right.
until we shared it with the community.
Okay.
And then they found one like this, and then we had a repo and fixed the bug.
Okay. All right. I keep going back, and Keynote won't let me do it. So let me just quickly go to the last slide. So get rid of my poor attempt of trying to finish this game. So after 70 hours of suffering and pain, I had to quit. But I'm still motivated to do it. No, it's fun. Actually, I didn't know what to expect. You know, you're the guy who started PUBG. That's all about guns and knives and whatever. And this is just a compass, a map. I actually learned how to use a compass. Thank you.
No,
It's actually very beneficial. No, I know theoretically what it is, but I never use it in combination with the real.
Wait till you see what we're
Yeah,
gonna do
so
on
here's just so. Hey. Huh? Okay, this is some weird stuff going on.
PlayerUnknown is me.
Well, never mind. The 3 games.
Yes.
They're kind of leading up to a bigger concept. Melba is your technology engine. What do you want to call it?
No, Melba is the platform, the foundation, or the protocol, or the engine, whatever, to build 3D worlds at planet scale.
Why-
locally?
Why Melba? What is Melba? Is it a
Melba is,
abbreviation?
no, it's named after Melba Roy Mouton, who was the lead of the mathematicians that got us to the moon, and then ended up as the deputy director of the Ames Research Lab in NASA. Yeah.
Okay. And so Prologue is coming out this year, then Preface is coming out maybe in a few years.
Preface is out already. So Preface is my. It's like a visualization of what's possible with the engine right now. It's just a free tech demo on Steam. It's Earth scale. There's not much there.
Wait.
You can see the Steam reviews, and they're all kind
Right.
of like, there's nothing here. But then the Discord users are going, oh, but I get this, and it's hackable.
I thought that Prologue was the first.
Prologue is the first game we're releasing, but Preface is just this tech demo
All right,
to
all right. The
show
reason
off
I'm-
the possibilities of the engine.
The reason I messed it up is because I looked at a presentation by you guys in Breda, some of your guys from your team, and they used those 2 as an example. I'll show you in a minute. This is for those who know. I mean, some of you know exactly. These are all words that are used interchangeably, right? Machine learning, artificial intelligence, procedural generation. Dictionary.com didn't even know what procedural generation is yet, whereas in our industry, that's already a thing, right?
And you're trusting an AI overview. Okay.
Right.
No, again, this is like, these are not, especially in the industry, Gen AI and all that, so like it's a serious topic.
Right.
But what we're trying to do internally is we have agents that can generate terrains.
Right.
So our artists, instead of having to focus on building 8x8 maps, which takes big teams of people to do, we now have a map generated every time you play, or every time you press play,
Right.
and all you have to tweak are the algorithms and the look, the style, the assets, and it gives the artist more director level,
Okay.
than having to worry about sculpting every individual thing.
Okay.
And this just allows smaller teams to do much bigger worlds easier.
Right.
My hope eventually is that we might be able to release this tech as an add-on to Unreal or whatever, so other teams can just use it to build worlds quicker, because, well, why wouldn't I?
Add-on to Unreal?
Well, it's just a plug-in to Unreal.
But will,
so-
will Artemis replace Unreal at some point?
No, I don't. I don't see it as competition. Like it's
no.
like I say, I'm trying to
Additional
build,
opportunities.
like I'm trying to build HTTP, but in 3D, right? Like so, a protocol to build 3D worlds,
So the 3D
and 3D
web.
pages, rather than 2D pages.
Now you're getting dangerously close to the M word.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I apologize.
Do people know what the M word is?
Yes.
Metaverse.
No, because no one's building the metaverse. Everyone's building IP bubbles that maybe will talk to each other someday
Yeah.
with business connections, and that's not the metaverse. It's like if you've read Ready Player One, that's what it warns you against.
Right, right.
So I thought, like, not initially, but I just thought about this protocol to create worlds that, like, you could have a super hot world or Ubisoft, I don't care.
Yeah.
We just provide you with the tech stack to do it locally
Right.
And generatively. And then maybe that's the metaverse, but I think it has to be built the same way the internet was built, which is open source.
So now you're going back to the foundation of the internet.
It has to be built with the same pillars, right?
Because you had we went to Blender together, right? And you talked to Tom Roosendaal for a while about the fundamentals of open source. You guys felt that...
No, exactly. So with Melva, because it's an open source engine, we should be able to plug in Blender, and we're already working with Blender to make tools, so you can use Blender as a toolkit to do stuff in the engine. Like, our engine doesn't have a level editor. You just drag and drop stuff in, and the level is just created. So it's just a different way of making worlds.
Right. So, by the way, this is all Amsterdam North. You guys have you're like 10 minutes away from each other, right?
Yeah, in DSM,
your office, So this is some of the stuff the guys were showing about guided generation. This is something that's worth checking out for those of you like. I went to the Everything Procedural Conference in Breda. Anybody here from BUAS? BUAS, yes. That is a great conference. Go there next year, because really that's where everything that was shown there, because there were some other examples of companies from Scandinavia doing similar stuff. So it was really, really impressive. These are all the questions that I want to get through with you. So let me make sure. This was in case all technology failed, I could still do this interview.
Right.
So let's see where we got. Let me see if I covered everything. Nobody can read this but me. That's the cool thing about this.
No, I should explain as well, like, why we're doing 3 games, right? Like, so I want to do Earth-scale planets with millions of players, and essentially that big planet, that final game will be like Minecraft Survival. Just an example of what's possible using our engine, with some game modes that you can take part in or experiences if you want to. Otherwise, it's just a place to explore.
Right.
But in order to get there, there's a few tech problems we have to solve.
Right.
One is, how do you generate terrain locally instead of relying on servers or traditional ways of doing it? Second, how do you build marketplaces, ownership systems, and a network that supports millions of NPCs as well as humans? And then finally, how do you combine all that into an Earth-scale world?
Okay, wow. So you say marketplaces. So the business model, what's the business model ultimately? Is it open source and then there's all these additional...
Everything should be open source,
apart
from the ID layer and the transaction layer. So like Android. So you can use their operating system, but if you want to use their marketplace, you have to be verified or KYC or whatever, and then you can do transactions. So that's where I see us. If we can provide the transaction layer, we can take a small percentage and even feed that back into, because there's all kinds of stuff like decentralized compute and infrastructure that we might need to like reuse some of the profit to create a sustainable
because you need to sustain your team. Now Blender has found a way to do it, right? They give the tool away, but they have... Well, they sell books.
We'll end up as like a content creator for the network or the world we build, rather than, because it should be moved to a foundation, and the engine itself should be managed by a non-profit, because it has to be, right? Because it's the internet.
Okay.
Because the internet is the metaverse, but just in 2D.
Right. Well, before I open up, I have so many more questions, but now I'm going to go back to the fundamentals. Why are you called PLAYERUNKNOWN?
Oh, just because of the default name in Arma. I wish I had a more interesting story. So in Arma, I used to be called Captain Darling, and then I was changing my name, and it's Player 1 in Arma, and I just deleted the 1 and thought, just PLAYERUNKNOWN sounds cool.
Yeah. You just wanted to...
And that was it. Like, and I wish it was more interesting, but no.
That's good. That's a good answer. Any questions? Anybody? Oh, let them think about that. Willem. So, while they get to Willem.
Yeah, hi. Putting the technical achievement aside of creating a planet-sized world, why would you want to do that? It sounds exhausting for any player.
No, but it's just about creating shared spaces, shared social spaces. That, like, it may be not planet-size, but the tech we're building doesn't really matter about the scale. Like, you can build a small world or a big world or whatever scale world you want, and the aim is more to build an engine or a protocol that enables like any kind of scale of world using machine to machine rather than scaling through humans. And it's a problem that I think a lot of like teams are trying to solve by throwing more humans into the equation, getting more humans to work on it at the same time, rather than leveraging Industry 4.0 like they've done in so many other industries, and allowing humans to scale up using machines rather than, just doing it the other way.
So guided generation, you're still balancing the game. You're releasing a demo in the next few weeks.
Yep.
Right? People can sign up. People can go to your Discord.
We have like monthly playtests. We have like 11K people in Discord.
Yeah.
We have about 3-4K people testing the game every month for a week.
But people here that are interested can go to your
We have a
page.
GitHub with bug reporting that we got 120 bug reports from the community.
Okay.
It's really been good, and as I said, I want to build games with the community rather than just for them.
Yeah.
And it's been great so far, and
So if I download the June version, do you think I'll make it to the weather tower?
Maybe. Just get good.
I noticed that there was these three things, and so you had temperature, food, and water. And if temperature was wrong, you die really quickly. But once you got enough clothes, then I wanted to drink, and I had this cup, and I went to the river, and I tried to scoop it, and it just wouldn't scoop. And I was like, ah! So then I went and ate, and then realized that the water would go up if you ate, like shrooms, and I even ate dog food.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Kibble.
so I really tried, Brendan. I really did.
You'd be happy to hear the mushrooms that you find in the world.
I did all that.
Yeah, so we're changing mushrooms as well and adding like poisonous varieties. And
nice.
And most mushrooms.
Okay.
I don't think we can put in psilocybin mushrooms because there's age ratings and stuff. But at least we can make it like real mushrooms that most of them you have to cook. Or else they're not.
Okay,
right?
so will you need to cook the mushrooms you find in nature?
Most of them, yes. Eventually.
So
but these are all.
So I just ate them like that, and it was fine.
And this will give you calories
in the real game.
But this will give you calories. But we're thinking it will just reduce your caloric count quicker because you're poisoned, right, by the mushroom.
All right. So at some point, I realized I wasn't dying at all, and I was like, how has it come? But I had pretty much all the clothes I could find. So then I get more time, right? So if I find a jacket and the things like that.
No, if you get that like level 3 jacket and everything warm, then you're pretty good, right?
All right.
But again, it's just at the end towards the mountaintop, we have like the barren mountaintop area. And right now it's quite empty. But we're planning to add a bit more depth to it. But it still should be that sort of, you're preparing for that last kilometer of a journey that's going to be quite tough. So you spend the time within the forest, exploring cabins, trying to get yourself to a good state, right?
Okay.
Is
there time for one more question from the room? No, I'm getting a very firm, even though I see 2:18 here on the screen. Come on, Geoff. See?
One more question.
One question. Hey. There, the fast person there.
Hey, my question is, seeing the audience here, there's lots of smaller studios trying to make it big. You being a person that has made it super big, coming from a smaller background, in the current day of, you're referring to it, machine learning, AI, do you have any advice for any of these startup studios that want to get a good success?
Yeah, like that. Don't go all in on Gen AI. I think it's fine, but it's like it's a tool to be used rather than something to replace artists and replace teams and just do everything, right? Like we're using it very domain specific. Advice for teams. Honestly, I don't know. I am not a games executive. I've been doing this like 5 years. I have Kim Nordstrom as my CEO because I don't know that shit.
You're not from games originally.
No,
right?
As a photographer and a designer and a DJ. So I don't do performance reviews in my company because how the hell am I going to tell people with 30 years experience how to do their job better, right? So, I kind of know my limits. I say to everyone, my daughter just graduated, and I told her a few years ago that, look, just find something you love to do. And she loves to help people, so now she's a paramedic EMT, wants to be a firefighter. And it's the same, I think, in gaming. It's like, just find an idea you love and try to make that rather than trying to follow a trend or trying to okay, this is popular right now. Look, extraction shooters are hot right now. Even the marketing for Prologue, there was talk about maybe it's survival extraction.
Yes.
But then PC Gamer called us a survival roguelike, and I was very happy and was like, yes, I will take that.
And has your daughter played your game?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's too busy studying with EMT exams and stuff. But no, for advice for smaller studios trying to succeed, I don't know. I just made a game I wanted to play, and I was really lucky that other people wanted to play it. But apart from that, that is just follow your passion, I think. But that just sounds so cliche. So,
but it's true. Yeah. Thank you so much, Brendan. Warm applause for Brendan.
No, thank
Give
you.
it up.
That's great.